Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025, February 9, 2025, at Laban Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an award ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories and many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
Welcome. God dang it, welcome. Welcome back to We-On-Loc Nation channel. I am your host, We-On-Loc. Of course, I am the hostess with the mostest. You know how that go. Like and share, subscribe. Like and share, subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the like button when you soon come on in. And we're going to be talking about something a little bit different today. We're going to be talking about politics, ladies and gentlemen. Who is your good candidate? Who is your good candidate? The election is near. Who is your good candidate? Now, of course, we got some buffoonery going on, not just coonery, but we got some coonery and buffoonery going on as, of course, Anton Daniels goes on Fox News and expands his coon muscles. And nobody gives a about what he's particularly talking about. He's done that before. He's done that before. We ain't going and we don't care. We ain't going and we don't freaking care. We ain't going and we don't freaking care. How many saw the Kamala Harris slash Donald Trump, or excuse me, who wants to see a Donald Trump Kamala Harris debate? Who wants to see that? I want to see it. I already know what's going to happen. It's going to be no different from the last debate with Donald Trump and, of course, Hillary Clinton. That was a shambles, and look who ended up winning the race. Again, I am not saying that Kamala Harris is not capable. I just don't care. But it's quite interesting who she has in her corner. She has Quavo from the Three Amigos, and even Amigos no more. Meg Thee Stallion, of course. This is how I know it's a joke. This is how I know it's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into that, well, let's get into that now. Let's get into that right now. Before we get into that, like and subscribe to the channel. Become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. This was an absolute joke. I gotta pause that. This, because I can't play music. This was an absolute joke to me. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to be serious This is why I say politics is a joke. The election is a joke. All of it is a joke. But yet we got, there's of course we got Meg Thee Stallion up here performing for Camilla Harris and performing for the entire world, knowing that her profession, it leaks to chaos and idiocy. It leaks to that. Now, when I was arguing with Chaotic Truth, I really wanted to get into the discussion. I really wanted to get into discussion with this bullshit that goes on in the Democratic Party. They always want to bring, well, to be fair, but at least in the Republican Party, when they bring on a celebrity, the celebrity is not as fancy. Okay? It's not as flamboyant as what we got right here. That's what we got right here. Now, Meg Thee Stallion, she is fine as fuck. And I would smash. I would definitely smash. But when it comes to politics, when it comes to policy, we gotta stand for something, y'all. We gotta stand for something, or we don't fall for anything. I don't even want to get into politics. I'm not a politician, because politicians are creating this fantasy world for Americans that you have a freedom of choice. You don't. You don't have a freedom of choice. Not in this society, not in this world. You think you do. But if you don't put any money behind if you don't put any ideas in front of it, and go in front of your congressmen, or go in front of your legislative leaders or whatever, and present the ideas just like Ice Cube did at one point, still got to talk about that bullshit that you did. You sold. But if we're going to be serious about this, why do we need this? I don't take nothing, nada. I don't take none of this shit serious, because they don't talk about any policies or anything. What are the policies? This is what we need to know. Now, we can go on forever with this trash. We can go on forever with this trash, but I have one question for you. And this is the only question that I have. Who do you have your eyes set on for? Who do you have your eyes set on for when it comes to this election? Who do you have your eyes set for? Let me see. Now let's skip to it. And of course, we got Quavo. We serious? We serious? Again, I don't take Kamala Harris seriously. I don't.
How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? If y'all don't know me, I go by the name of Quavo. Born and raised in the north side of Atlanta, home of the Migos. Wow. This city has always been home to me, from playing in the streets and, nurturing me and teaching me how to be the man I am standing before you. So, one of these issues that I care about is resolving the gun violence issue. And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business. From inviting me, what's up, mama? From inviting me to the White House last year to discuss these solutions, to passing the biggest gun safety laws to date. So it's only right in the birthplace of the culture. It's also the same place to launch the first African-American woman to run for president. Yeah, we changing the culture again. So if you never voted before, make sure you get out and vote right now, because it's the real one. And in the words of my brother Takeoff, let me get a Kamala. I'm gonna hand it over to Tyler the Green. Let him talk about his vote and introduce the next president of the United States of America. Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. My name is Tyler Green, and I am so honored to be introducing the next President of the United States of America, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Back, and I am very clear. The path to the White House runs right through this state. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're gonna do it again in 2024. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So let's get right down. So I'm gonna get into some business now. Okay, I'm gonna get into some business now. All right. So Georgia, as many of you know, before, and have a seat if you have a chair. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president, and before I was elected a United States Senator, I was an elected Attorney General and an elected District Attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. So in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Yeah, we know your type too, but let's continue.
And I have been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. As a prosecutor, I specialized in child sexual abuse cases and sexual abuse cases. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. And as an attorney general, I held the big Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Donald Trump, I'm guilty of fraud. 34 counts. So in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Wow, it's so surprising how you can be able to do that when Donald Trump doesn't even have a record of doing anything for this country. Nothing other than be a celebrity.
Any day of the week. Including, for example, on the issue of immigration. So I was the Attorney General of a border state. In that job, I walked underground tunnels between the United States and Mexico on that border with law enforcement officers. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
Yeah, but we're done. We're cooked. We're screwed. 5 minutes ago, I just came across the video, not pertaining to anything political, but I don't know what went wrong, but Black people, we got to get it together. Somebody attacked. I heard the rumor has it that somebody attacked the officer. Somebody African American attacked the officer, a white officer, for whatever reason. I don't know. I got to review it. I got to review the tape, but this is crazy, man. This is not how you go about doing things. It's not how you go about doing things, but I have to review it later.
Administration worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill. Even the Border Patrol endorsed it. It was all set to pass. But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down. Right. He tanked the bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election. Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself. And when I am president, I will work to actually solve the problem. So here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump killed, and I will sign it into law and show Donald Trump what real leadership looks like.
Between him and Haybridge, between Quavo, Meg Thee Stallion, I guess it's a bit apropos to have those particular people on your squad. I guess it's a little bit apropos versus Hulk Hogan. Who the hell? Oh, and Amber Rose. That boy.
But make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us.
Oh, I forgot. Who do you have for this election? That was my question. I was supposed to put my question up. Who do you have for this election?
Us versus Donald Trump. Truly, this campaign is about two very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, the other focused on the past. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity to build a business, to own a home, to build intergenerational wealth, a future with affordable health care, affordable child care, paid leave. And all of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because we here all know when our middle class is strong, America is strong. And to keep our middle class strong, families need relief from the high cost of living so that they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. And yes, it is true that by many indicators, our economy is the strongest in the world. But while inflation is down and wages are up, prices are still too high. You know it and I know it. And when we win this election, here's what we're going to do about it. On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs.
Oh, believe it when we see it.
We will ban more of those hidden fees and
you know what? I need to stop being so petty. I'm sorry. I just came from chaotic goofballs live stream. I gotta be a little bit more poetic. I'll be fair. I'll be fair, and I'll just listen.
surprise late charges that banks and other companies use to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and too high. You know it and I know it. And when we win this election, here's what we're going to do about it. On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs. We will ban more of those hidden fees and surprise late charges that banks and other companies.
I was over there. Mind you, I was over there. And it was a lot. See, I have to tell you the truth. I act goofy sometimes, and that's because I don't take him serious. I don't take a lot of people serious, right? Because I know if it came to a face-to-face meet, he probably wouldn't be the same person that he acts on here. He talks all this nigger this and nigger that, but today's not today. I'll show that a little bit later. We gotta get political, y'all. Meg Thee Stallion just left the stage. Quavo from the Three Amigos just left the stage. Let's get political.
These used to pad their profits. We will take on corporate landlords and cap unfair rent increases. And we will take on Big Pharma to cap prescription drug costs for all Americans.
What about reparations? Huh? What was that? What? No talk about reparations.
Our plan will lower costs and save many middle-class families thousands of dollars a year. But Donald Trump has a different plan in mind, one that would raise prices on middle-class families. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda. I take it you've seen it.
Don't be that way. Don't be that way, Helen. Please don't be that way. We want to be political. We just had Meg Thee Stallion. I'll smash that. Anyway, we just had Meg Thee Stallion leave the stage. We had Quavo from the Three Amigos leave the stage. Come on, let's be political. I'll show the other stuff in a minute. Don't worry. We got time.
Project 2025 is a plan to weaken the middle class. Be clear. And Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends.
Now, mind you, listen to what she is saying. And I just want to remind you of something. Now, I just want to be fair. This is the same exact mumbo jumbo that Hillary Clinton said 4 or I would say 8 years before that. 8 years before that. During that time, man, I need some water. 4 years during that, 4 years afterwards, it was Joe Biden versus, of course, Donald Trump. See the pattern? They say the exact same things every single year. Every single year. It's the exact same thing every single year. Now, there are some promises that are made, of course, when it comes to the American people, right? What about the things that we ask for? What about the things that we need? This is the reason why I say we need our own independent party. This is the reason why I say things like that. We can challenge these people. But y'all ain't confessed, so let's go.
And to gut our investments in clean energy jobs. He intends to end the Affordable Care Act. To take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You guys remember what that was? Children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. Georgia, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going. We're not going back. We're not going back. Our country. We love our country. And I believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country.
I hope it's not sending black people to prison.
And so
excuse me, for all my brothers out there, our African brothers and sisters to prison. Excuse me. Brothers.
Who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans, and when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So November 5th is in 98 days.
All right, everybody put in the chat, who you going for this election? You going for Trump or you going for Kamala? Trump or Kamala?
So, in 98 days, and let's level set. Friends, let's level set. We have a fight in front of us. We have a fight in front of us, and we are the underdogs in this race. We are.
It would be nice, wouldn't it, Ellen? But I don't hear anything about reparations. But if we were there, we would be screaming to the hills, what about reparations, you dumb bitch? I mean, what about reparations? Reparations for Black people. That's what we would be saying if we were there.
But you see, this is a people-powered campaign. Ours is a people-powered campaign. In fact, after I announced my candidacy, we saw the best week of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. And if you go to KamalaHarris.com, you can help us build on that success. So the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it.
Really? We haven't even got a debate yet. We haven't got a debate yet between you two. But this is going to be interesting. Let me go.
You may have noticed. So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. So here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face. So Georgia, in the next 98 days.
Well, you said she's selling some swamp land. You can sell in Las Vegas. There's some swamp land she can sell. Wow, bruh. It's going to be on somewhere on the north side of town. I will tell you that. Even though they completely changed the landscape over there, they completely changed it. There's some desert land you can definitely sell her. She's selling some wolf tickets right about now.
We have our work cut out for us. And this is not going to be easy. This is hard work, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work. So Georgia, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States.
Now, I gotta turn the sound down because I don't want to get dinged. Check this out. Did anybody see this? Anybody see this? I gotta turn the sound down because, of course, man, they blasted the music. Look at it. Look how we take this. I do not take none of this shit serious. I mean, look at it. I mean, god damn, she does look good in a motherfucker. I'm just so glad she didn't twerk. I'm just so glad she didn't twerk because every concert. No, how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? Sexy Red would twerk her ass off in an election if she was selected. How much you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that she would be twerking her ass off? Nasty, stinky pepper. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice. Well, at any rate, let me look at her one more time. Good Lord Jesus. And of course, Quavo was on stage. Say what's up to Quavo. What's happening? May Big Brother rest in peace. May Big Brother rest in power. All right. Now that we got that crap out the way, did anybody see the thing that happened today with Donald Trump? Donald Trump was answering some hard questions. Donald Trump was definitely answering some hard questions. I gotta see, where did it go? All right, it's right here. Let's smash it. Brought to you in part by Beef Sector 8. Because in this sector, there is no beef.
Donald Trump. We ask that the professionalism that we all bring.
A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go.
Now, mind you, I think someone said that Kamala was supposed to be at this function. And number 2, why is it just black women on this? There's not one black dude on this stage. I mean, if we gonna ask them the hard questions, I want a brother to actually put it on him. Like what? What's up with you throwing a whole bunch of tissues and towels with a whole bunch of innocent people? Huh? What's up with you executing 13 innocent people? What's up with that?
Back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe Black district attorneys. You've attacked Black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking Black supporters to vote for you, why should Black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
Here we go. Never fails.
Including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was wrong.
Mr. President, I would love
I think
if you
it's
can
a
answer
very
the question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe
answered
that
the question.
trust you with another
I have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who was the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
Give me a
literally
definition then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a Black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was Black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn Black, and now she wants to be known as Black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she Black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a Black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
Black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she went.
Don't blame my face. He said, "Oh, which one is it? First she was Black. She was Indian 1 minute. Now she's Black the next." Oh, wow. She was Indian just a couple of years ago, but now all of a sudden she's Black. Remember, she knew Snoop Dogg back in '91. Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. Get the fuck out of here.
She became a Black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think
that she is
somebody should look into that too when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length. And we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that.
Well,
interview.
you told me it was the longest one of your life, so we had a good discussion. Look, I want to talk about why you're here today. I mean, it is not lost on us how divided we are as a country. And as you were coming today, we really got to see that we were divided along the lines of race, along the lines of gender. And there is this question of, in this moment where we are, why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 50.
A job is anybody with a black job is anybody with a job.
16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody
do not forget that when he did The Apprentice, he employed and fired a lot of black people. A lot of black people. Right? Let's not forget that one. I never said he was a good businessman. Hell, I mean, he's a sneaky one too. A cocky little son of a bitch, but yet a sneaky businessman. When it comes to politics, oh, hell no. Hell no, he don't get my freaking vote. And it's for this reason.
He's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that. And Kamala is allowing it to happen. She's the border czar. She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border czar like this. She's never even essentially been. She said she was there once, but not the right part of the border. So she was a border czar. She's done a horrible job. These people are coming into our country, and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs. And frankly, they're taking union jobs. Unions are being very badly affected by all of the millions of people that are pouring into our country. And one thing, as we discussed, many of these people are coming in from mental institutions, from prisons, from jails. They're gang members in other countries. Other countries are setting loose their prisoners. They're opening up their prisons and their mental institutions, and they're taking their bad people, drug dealers, gang members, and they're bringing them into the United States. And by the way, their crime rate is going down, and our crime rate is going to be a disaster.
Mr. President, I want to get into how you address some of the issues with black communities. And I say that plural because we live in communities of color that are different. We're not all the same. We don't vote the same. We don't think the same.
Sure.
It's not monolithic. So as you come here today, I want to talk about something that bursts. And this is the weight of the inflation on this country right now. The nonprofit Money Management International recently released data from its mid-year analysis that we have found a 52% rise in people who are seeking counseling for being in credit debt. They're paying for food that is sky high on their credit cards, and now they can't pay that off. The credit counseling nonprofit MMI, as I said, is saying now that they've seen surges that they haven't seen since we were in a pandemic of people in financial trouble. Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single black moms, when you look statistically. Yeah. How do you turn it around? What's your plan for the black community when it comes to money?
So, first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word.
Yeah, I can hear a word. I can hear a word, everything you said, even though it's a big-ass building and it got mics everywhere. You can't escape the mics. You can't escape them. I can hear you, but I don't want to hear you because you're black, you're African American, and you're a female, you're a black female, and I hate black females due to the fact that they're not submissive people and everything. But I will try to answer it the best that I can. Yes.
It's very difficult, actually. But so I don't know if they can fix it or do something with it, but I'll do the best I can with it. The inflation is absolutely destroying our middle class, our working class, virtually every class. Inflation is a disaster in our country. Inflation is a country buster. It breaks every country. And we had in my opinion, the worst inflation we've had. They say it's 58 years, but I think it's much more than that. It's been devastating. And if you just take a look at a lot of things they don't include, like interest rates. Interest rates went from 2.4% to 10%, and you can't get the money. People can't buy houses. They no longer have the American dream. Young people, young black people, they don't have the American dream anymore. They can't buy a house. They can't borrow the money because of the cost of the money. They can't.
Don't be fooled. Do not sink into the bullshit. Do not sink into it. Do not go into that sunken place. Do not.
Because of the cost of housing, because of the cost to build it, because of inflation. Inflation is a disaster, and it's destroying our country, and it's destroying the black community probably as much or more than any.
What's your plan?
You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation. This was all started with a bad energy policy by Joe Biden. By the way, just if I might, I was running against a man named Biden. You probably saw that. And he was losing very badly in the polls. And then he had a rather bad debate. I would say it was a bad debate. I would say it was one of the worst debates in history. And his poll numbers crashed. And instead of saying, you know, let's keep going and maybe something happens the other way, they said, oh, we're going to replace him. Let's just replace him. That's like you're in a fight. A prize fighter's in a fight. He's not doing where you say, let's bring in another fighter. So our whole campaign was steered toward him, and now we have to steer toward him. But ultimately, it's the same because they have bad policy. They have policies of open borders, unbelievable open borders, horrible energy policies. They want to get rid of, as you say, gasoline in cars. They want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of efficient heating.
Mr. President.
Environmentally, what they're doing is killing our country. They're absolutely destroying our country. But the inflation.
How old is Donald Trump? How old is Trump? Anybody know?
Is the thing that's hurting the black worker, the black population, and every other population within our country. Inflation is the worst it's been, I think, in over 100 years. And they'll fact check it. They'll say it's only 58. Whatever it may be, they don't add all the numbers. They don't add the really bad numbers, and you can check that too. But inflation, Harris, is absolutely destroying this country and the people in our country. Yes,
Mr. President, can I ask you another question
Yes,
that is also...
Before you do that, before you answer that question, ma'am, I just want to ask the people. In my dormitory of mold, I fixed the room looking quite nice, don't you agree? But anyway, if you were to vote for this guy, would you want to have this this person here in our corner? Let me get another, hold on. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please become a member. Please become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Why is everything going so damn slow? Give me a second here. Give me a second. Because quite frankly, I need to show you something, but if this damn thing, okay, cool. I think it's time for a flush on my computer. But like I said before, if you're going to vote for Donald J. Trump, if you're going to vote for Donald J. Trump, right? I sound like Princella, right? Do you want this month in your corner? Let's roll the clip.
Last week, when they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
You want to vote for that guy? Anybody? Anybody want to vote for that guy? Anybody? Anybody at all? Anybody? I mean, he looked pretty sprawl for a 70-year-old. You said he's 78? Oh boy. I think it's if you're going to vote for anybody, don't you think it's high time that we voted somebody young, somewhere in their mid 40s, someone who has better and futuristic policies that we can, vote for, abide by. It's quite it. Did you clear it? Very nice. Did you clear it yourself? Yes, I did. I mean, I work so hard for all this stuff, and I read a lot of books. I really do. I really do. And you're a nice lady, and I understand you. It's just, even though you're a Democrat, I know you're a very nice lady. I want you to vote for me this year. I really do. Shut up, silly woman. Shut it up. I want you to go ahead and I want you to vote for Donald J. Trump. That's what I want you to do. Here, I want you to watch the rest of my video. That's what I want you to do.
Impacting Black Americans.
And that's very clear now. Good.
I'm sorry?
It's very clear. I hear you.
Okay. So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed Black woman, was shot the other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me. Are you talking with the water, right?
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person either.
Okay.
But again,
they're going to be charging the officer? I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he might not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that. We need people to protect ourselves. And by the way, in Chicago, as an example, a few weeks ago, July 4th weekend.
See, the one thing that buffles my crawl, that irks my nerves, is people act like they don't know, when relatively they do know because they watch the news every day. This son of a bitch watches the news every single day when he wakes up. He has to. What do you think he gets the news from? Where do you think he gets his information from? Where do you think he gets the information from? His flunkies? I mean, he has his sons. If not, he has his sons. He has practically everyone there to tell him. And by the way, he still gets security. He's a former president. He still gets security. Even security will let him know. I mean, come on. And for him to say that police will get immunity, I already know what's going to happen. So it doesn't matter either way. And this is the reason why I asked in the first place, who do you swing for in this election? Do you swing for Donald Trump or do you swing for Kamala Harris? It doesn't matter either way it swings. You're fucked this year. And if Kamala wins, not only are we fucked, the men's, the ones that cry each and every single day about women are not feminine enough. You're supposed to be feminine. You're supposed to be you're supposed to cook, and you're supposed to clean, and you're supposed to say less, and you're supposed to just get pregnant, and then all this other yada 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 whatever. I can't. Deep in my heart, I want Kamala Harris to win, just so I can see each and every single one of your freaking faces, and I can just smile. And you can call me a simp all you want. You can call me a panderer all you want. What is a panderer? Because somebody put in the chat what a panderer is. I don't know what that is. Seriously, I don't know what a panderer is. They keep making up all these words every single year. I keep telling these Negroes, create a thesaurus with each and every single name with a definition of what the hell it is you're talking about. Is simp even in the dictionary? Is simp in the dictionary? I would just like to know. Donald J. Trump would just like to know. Is simping in the dictionary? What about pander? What about pick me? What about all those things? What about them? I think it was best if you called somebody a nigger. I mean a chump back then. I think it was best.
And they had 117 shootings and 17 deaths. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We need to have our police officers have the respect and dignity back. In this particular case, I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So can you get a little more specific back to the immunity question? Who would make those
Well, right now, for the most part, people are protected by their unions, by their police unions, or by their police departments. But I'm saying if I felt, or if a group of people would feel that somebody was being unfairly prosecuted because the person did a good job maybe with crime or made a mistake, an innocent mistake. There's a big difference between being a bad person and making an innocent mistake. But if somebody made an innocent mistake, I would want to help that person.
What would those exceptions be? What would determine
you
an
go
innocent
after
mistake?
somebody and it's a very close call and it's very dangerous, and they have the policeman's life and woman is a very difficult thing, because sometimes you have less than a second to make a life and death decision, and sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake.
So I want to follow up really quickly. I find it interesting because you do talk about reining in prosecutors, especially when it comes to prosecutors that are prosecuting you. Why doesn't that skepticism apply to law enforcement?
Well, I've been prosecuted because I'm a political opponent of two people that have weaponized our justice system. I've been prosecuted. I just won the big case in Florida. Everyone said that was the biggest case. That was the most difficult case. And I just won it. Now, Biden has a similar case, except much worse. I was protected under the president.
He didn't win that case. It got dismissed, but let's go.
Records Act. Biden wasn't, because he wasn't president at the time. And he had 50 years worth of documents. And they ruled that he was incompetent and therefore he shouldn't stand trial. And I said, isn't that something? He's incompetent and he can't stand trial. And yet, he can be president. Isn't that nice?
Mr. President,
but they released him on the basis that he was incompetent. They said he had no memory and he was a nice old guy, but he had no memory, and therefore we're not going to prosecute him. I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We covered you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over on to
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different.
This is what he does. This is what he does.
No, excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past.
You want him talking to you like that?
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your Sir, if you don't mind, I'd love
judge.
to. We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different
No,
topics.
excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
For a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different
No,
topics.
excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
For a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different
No,
topics.
excuse you. You're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He's not talking here about how great it is to be a parent. He's attacking what he says are the choices people are making to not have children. Did you know that he had these views about people who do not have children before you picked him to be your running mate? And do you agree with him?
No, I know this. He is very family oriented and he thinks family is a great thing. That doesn't mean he thinks that if you don't have a family, it's not. I know people with families. I know people with great families. I know people with very troubled families. And I also know people with no families. They didn't meet the right person. Things happen. You go through life, you don't meet the right person.
But he's not just talking about families here. He also says that people that don't have children should get less votes than those that do.
I'm just speaking for myself.
Is that your campaign
I think
position?
I'm speaking for him too. He strongly believes in family, but I know people with great families. I know people with not great families that don't have a family. And the people without the family are far better. They're superior in many cases, okay? He's not saying they're not. What he's saying is that he thinks family experience is a very important thing. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that if you grow up and you grow older and you don't meet somebody that would be wonderful to meet and would have been good, that that's a bad thing. He's not saying that. My interpretation, you'll have to ask him actually, but my interpretation is he's strongly family oriented. But that doesn't mean if you don't have a family, there's something wrong with it.
Just one last.
Certain things that I don't know. All I know is this is a sham. It's a sham. It's a sham. It's a scandal. It's just something that I would not participate in because it's a shit show. It's a shit show. But y'all are free. Y'all are free to vote for whoever you want to vote for. My family is mad at me to this day. They are mad because they think that I'm going to be voting for Trump. I ain't voting for that muff. I'm not voting for him. I am not voting for him. I'm not voting for Kamala either. It's like you want me to vote for me to vote for a flawed person that believes in not politics, but believes in getting shit done economically, but at the cost of getting people killed, getting people hurt. I have not yet seen under his presidential, under his under his law, the hiring of hundreds and thousands of black people. I have never seen it. I have never seen it. The border, he wasn't talking shit about the border. He was for real about the border. Now going on to the other side, well, we all know what Kamala Harris is capable of doing. But it's the same old bullshit story from Democrats. But y'all ain't convinced, so let's go.
Point, and then we'll move on. Just one of the bedrock principles of American life is one person, one vote. Senator J.D. Vance has suggested that someone who has children should have more votes than a person who does not have children. I just want to be clear here. Is that the position of your campaign?
Well, no, but it's not something I've ever heard before. I can tell you this. Right now, you have illegal aliens coming into our country, many from prisons and many from mental institutions, and they want to give them votes. I don't think they should have votes. They came into our country illegally, and they're taking the vote away from all of the people in this room. that have been here a long time, that have worked hard, that in many cases.
Those Mexicans Americans that just got their green cards. They're allowed to vote. I might be wrong about that. I might be wrong, but then again, I might be right. So I don't know. Let's tell the truth.
And you'll see this happening. If I'm not elected, you're going to see it happen. If I am, you're not going to have any problem. But you're going to see it happening a long time. You're going to see the people in this room and people outside of this room are going to be.
But you ain't going to give black folks a chance anyway. Those with money, those who are six-figure people, you are going to shake those people's hands. Everybody else, you're going to run to the slaughterhouse. You're going to run us straight to the slaughterhouse. Like you always been doing. But yeah, I am the former president of the United States. And if anything happens to me, we're going to attack the White House. We're going to go to the people. We're going to march down Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, yes, we're going to start in Las Vegas. We're going to go to Arizona, all the way down to California. That's what we're going to do. Oh, yes, because I am Donald J. Trump.
Losing their jobs to people that have come into this country illegally.
Mr. President, can we stay with just kind of the state of the race right now? Because I felt.
Hold on. Before I get a little, before we continue this, did anybody see Fox News? Hold on, did anybody see Fox News with Anton Daniels on I think her name is Lauren, whatever her name is. Listen to this coon talk. I want us to feast your eyes on this coon talk. But before we do all that, before we get to that, fam, before we get to this, fam, we got to do some promotions. We got to do some promotional deals. If you didn't get your tickets already from New York, please do. If you didn't get your tickets from to go to New York, to go to this U2B Awards, please do. Here we go.
Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025, February 9, 2025, at Laban Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an award ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories. And many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
All right, let's get it. You say you don't watch the news. You don't watch Fox News. Well, you're missing it. This was quite interesting.
And Anton Daniels, YouTuber and content creator. Anton, let's start with you. You just went viral for an exchange that you had with a Kamala supporter. Let's watch.
Would you vote for it?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a Black woman.
Is it only because she's a Black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
We're in 3 proxy wars. She failed at the border. She has no policy, no record to stand on.
Okay, Anton, first of all, I think I forwarded that to 20 of my friends. That was such an awesome takedown. But tell us about that, because I saw some of the other participants like nervously drinking their Coke or whatever they were drinking. But tell us about your interactions with people who happen to be African American who instinctively seem to go for Kamala because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. I think it's unfortunate because the majority of my interactions is me being looked at as the bad guy, because ultimately they think that I'm supposed to be on code, even though I know and they know that it's not in our best interest, in my family's best interest, in the country's best interest.
No, you just don't want to be what God put you to be, who God led you to be, who God created you to be. So that's okay. We don't need to hear from you. We need more people.
And when we continue to play identity politics, the thing that they usually refer to is our previous history in electing people in office that ultimately even they will concede that they didn't have our best interests at heart. And so when I'm interacting with these people, often at times it's very difficult for them to step outside of being on code in order to do the thing that's even in their best interest. So I'm often looked at as a bad guy, but in reality, they know I'm telling the truth. And that's why it's so difficult for them to be able to convey and then debate what it is that I'm telling them.
So the truth would be to vote Republican, vote for your best interests would be to vote for Republican, and absolutely just basically kill it at the polls and not take Kamala Harris seriously, because number one, she doesn't have any straight policies that Black people can relate to. But how would you know if we haven't had any debates yet? There has not been a debate yet. There has not been a straight debate where Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have actually sat down on the same exact stage and questions start flying. And one of the questions should be to both of them: who is up for giving up reparations to Black people? That's the only thing Black people will want to know. Who is going to give us reparations? That's it. We don't care about none of that other stuff. All of that stuff is irrelevant. All of that stuff is non-existent. They want to go through, we want to go to reparations, and then if you want to go to politics and all this other nonsense, you go right ahead. We ain't worried about none of that other junk.
Because they already know what the truth is. They're not unfamiliar with what it is that they experienced over the last 3.5 years. They're suffering. They don't have jobs. They have lower wages. They can't pay their bills. And so when they experience this, but it's very difficult for us as a community then break away from the popular thing to do because they don't want to be a part of the cool kids club anymore.
Oh, but this is the same guy that said, fuck it, we gonna play today. Fuck it, we gonna play today. Because I'm not playing with these people anymore. Mind you, this is the same guy that says he hates the Black community and F the Black community and all this other stuff and all this and all this, right? Right? But then he said something else profound. Check this out.
I don't want to hear that. Really? My brother shit, for the culture shit. I just said what I said. Fuck the culture.
Well, in the words of Malcolm X, who told you to hate yourself? I mean, who told you to hate yourself?
Black people killed Malcolm X. Fuck Malcolm X. And Black people killed Malcolm X.
Wow, really?
Fuck Malcolm
Really?
X. Fuck all
Malcolm
of them.
X?
Fuck all of these people that came before us.
Community and all this other.
I don't want to hear that.
Really?
My brother shit, for the culture shit. I just said what I said. Fuck the culture.
Well, in the words of Malcolm X, who told you to hate yourself? I mean, who told you to hate yourself?
Black people killed Malcolm X. Fuck Malcolm X. And Black people killed Malcolm X.
Wow, really?
Fuck Malcolm
Really?
X. Fuck all
Malcolm
of them.
X?
Fuck all of these people that came before us.
This stuff and all this, right? So people feel the right to however they want to feel. However, And this is so easy. I just want to say, by the way, this is so easy to send a clip to Fox News because they'll listen to anything that you say. Tariq did the absolutely exact same thing. We only want to know about the policies, and we definitely want our reparations. In the form of a check or in the form of I would prefer land, but in the form of a check, form of land, whatever. If it bankrupts the United States of America, oh well. Oh fucking well. Y'all gotten out a lot of things before. Why would it affect you? Why would it affect you that much? I mean, haven't you borrowed from China? Haven't you borrowed from China? Haven't you borrowed from Russia? Haven't you borrowed from those people from Equate? Haven't you borrowed enough money as already? And that's why you're $63+ trillion in debt. And you don't want to give us our money?
Well, Stacy, I have to say that seems to sum it up. It's reflexive, and it takes a lot of courage. You know that. Of course, Anton knows that. I clerk for Justice Thomas. I mean, they're still beating him up all these years later. So it's a tough place to be, but it's factually the right place to be. So, Stacy, how do you handle this? And by the way, Kamala Harris behind in Georgia in the swing state poll average, I think by 4 points, 5 points, 6 points. So she's speaking in Atlanta, lots of Kamala signs behind her. One white dude behind her, I see him. Stacy, thoughts on this?
You know, Laura, I think Anton hit the nail on the head. This is about policy, and no one, I don't care who you are, if you're a white woman, a black woman, it doesn't matter what your skin is. What matters is, how do these policies impact you? How does the policy of open borders and giving jobs to foreigners instead of Americans impact your bottom line? How does the double-digit inflation, which stacks up month after month is cumulative, impact your bottom line? Can you still save money? Can you take a vacation? Can you buy that home? Can you upgrade? Can you move out of an apartment into a house? These are very, very real impacts. Anton described them well. And I think when I find people that only want me to address my life as if I get up every morning and say, what am I going to do today because I'm Black? They don't understand me. I'm a human being. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm just somebody's mom on the radio. I'm just somebody's mom on Laura Ingraham tonight for the first time. Thank you. But I'm sitting here listening to Anton. He makes sense. And what makes sense to me is what the policy is, you know?
Well, okay, these are facts, okay? And into the image making of Kamala, even the New York Times today, and forgive me for not having the direct quote, but the New York Times today had to write a piece about Kamala's biographical transformation. And there was a piece about how her father, who's of Jamaican descent, he was a Marxist economist at Stanford, socialist Marxist economist at Stanford. He's still alive. Very controversial, but you know, he's a tenured professor at Stanford University. That she never really talked much about him, that he's kind of a footnote in her biography, but then she leans into it, Anton, and President Trump spoke about this with me. She leans into it, I guess, for her.
Ain't that something similar to let me start over. Ain't that somewhat similar to what Barack Obama did with his father? He didn't talk about his father much. And isn't that also the same thing he did with Reverend whoever it was? He disowned his Reverend or something like that. I don't know. I'm just bugging.
Her political benefit.
Absolutely. And I think that identity politics is the play. When you don't have anything else to lean on, when you spent the majority of the time being absent, and then on top of that, you then advocated for being part of the alphabet community, which I call them, and then you failed at the border to the tune of the estimation of 10 to 15 million migrants coming into this country illegally. What else do you have to stand on? So then you start to lean on the thing that even Black people, honestly, when I'm having these conversations, Black people don't even consider her a part of the cool kids club, but they have to lean on it in order to have something to even be able to hold on to instead of just saying, hey, listen, Trump is the best candidate. They want to say that I want to be a part of the Democratic Party. So they figure out a way to validate themselves to be a part of this movement, which is not even best for them. It's silly.
Stacy, a friend of mine who went to law school with me, just messaged me. We were told from the beginning that they couldn't argue the issues. And they know that Trump is better on the economy.
Mind you, this is the same man, mind you. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Mind you, this is the same man who interviewed the Booty Warrior. And giving all types of excuses of why I think he's dope. I think he's a good example for the black community. No, he ain't. Motherfucker was in jail for whatever crime he committed. But you interviewed him and got his side of the story, or the other excuse, what other thing that this motherfucker had to say, right? Which was, I didn't need to hear none of that shit. But then this is why Anton was smiling from ear to ear, right? He was just blushing. You got a nice booty. You think you got a nice booty? He said, I don't know. I think he got a nice booty. Really? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that shit alone. He's a fucking hypocrite.
Economy, better on defending our interests, better on the border, stopping illegal immigration. He won't drag us into war. So all they do is revert back to the childish games as we saw with the white dudes for Kamala. I mean, how pathetic is that? It's almost like it's I thought actually a conservative must have made that. I thought that whole Zoom was created by a conservative because it was so repulsive. But it was so funny. I think in one of the people speaking, I think a lot of the mail-in ballots were hidden. But it's a very strange. They think that helps them.
Yeah, they do. But I think, there are people in America whose incomes are such that these double-digit inflationary impacts don't really mean anything to them. They're insulated from the policy decisions they make in the ballot box. But for most Americans, that's not the case. And even if you are wealthy, if you care about your bottom line, you're actually very frugal and you pay attention to your money, you don't want to see double-digit inflation. You don't want to see America sending $200 billion to Ukraine. You don't want to see boots on the ground, our own children spilling our blood and treasure abroad for something that we really have no interest in. And you really want to see some cogent domestic policy that prioritizes some of our very serious issues that we had, even coming out of the pandemic: homelessness, mental health crisis, healthcare. There are some things we need to do.
I know, but Stacy, you're dealing in the realm of facts. When you actually see interviews, when people are pushed on this who are refusing to think differently, they'll say stuff like, well, but he's not going to be good on equity. Right, Anton? Equity. He's going to disembowel equity. When I say to folks is, how's all the equity of the last 3.5 years worked out for your communities? Illegal immigrants using your schools?
It's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And it's so funny because, I've been seeing this whole movement, right, where they first leverage sororities and fraternities as far as the Divine Nine to try to include them in order to try to get her to be obviously presidential. I don't think that it's working because everybody that's in my community and the people that I speak with, especially black men, are even disappointed in white men in that why would you then follow white women who are extreme feminists and then let them follow black women in order to try to be a part of this cool kids club?
Oh my God.
When you can't stand on policy.
It's kind of too late because she raised over $200 million already. So things might come true for the better. But then again, I don't know. I'm not a politician. I am not a politician. I just want what's best for our people. That's what I want. I don't even like Laura. No one likes Laura. She's on the Republican side, of course. And of course she's a loudmouth. So What she said about LeBron, I'm not a proponent of LeBron James, but what she said about him and Kevin Durant, shut up and dribble, it's like, bitch, who are you? This is somebody we don't need. This is a channel that has the biggest, most hypocritical white man I have ever heard. At least he is honest. I will give Sean Hannity this. At least he's honest. Because he is far right. I will give him that. I will give him only that. But other than all this channel is a piece of shit. So I guess that's pretty much what he had to say. Did anybody give their vote? Anybody give their vote? I want everybody's vote. Everybody's vote. Who's going to vote for Kamala Harris? Who's going to vote for Kamala Harris? Who's going to vote for Donald Trump? Who's going to vote for Donald J. Trump? You going to vote for Donald? You going to vote for Donald J? What? You don't want to get? Oh, okay. Let's go. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the like button, people. Now, I almost forgot. If you thought, and I think everybody's seen this already, but just in case, you thought Hulk Hogan was bad. Anybody see the whole Amber Rose kit?
Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you.
What the hell is that on her head? Birth star? I think it's birth star? What the fuck is that on her head?
But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician and I don't want to be, but I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse. And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
Amber Rose is black, isn't she? That's a dumb question.
So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you.
Wait. What do you mean she doesn't like rainbow?
I never.
Shut up, Pepper. What do you mean she doesn't like rainbow people? Wait, what do you mean? Like she talks shit about them, or what do you mean? I think it's in people's best interests. Those who cling to the right, or the people who cling to the right or the left, I think it's in their best interests is to stick to whatever it is they do. Because if you're going to be a politician, be a politician. None of these people are politicians, and what you're doing is you're trying to reveal to the audience you're trying to reveal to the audience this illusion of inclusion, which is not in the policies that I believe as Black people, we need to start forming our own policies, right? As a people, we need to start forming our own policies, at least. What is needed, not what is, oh my goodness, not what is wanted, what is needed, right? And this is from the far left, okay? Trump, oh yeah, I thought she meant her. Oh, of course I mean, I don't expect him to. Dude, he hates Black people too. Black people with no money, at least. I mean, he'll hang out with the Snoop Dogs. He'll hang out with the TIs of the world. He'll hang out with all them with money because they represented him. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. The only person who had any guts to say something was Ice Cube. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all. But let's continue.
I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Yeah. I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump.
That's true.
My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Both of them some trick bags. What a and Kanye West. Oh well, we're not shocked and surprised at a coon. But anyway, what up there, evil man? What up there, either man? But quite frankly, we're screwed. We are absolutely screwed. So unless we form our own independent political party, we are freaking screwed. We're freaking screwed. We're putting a celebrity on top of another celebrity, on top of a celebrity, on top of celebrity. When it comes to when it comes to the Democrats, we're always promised something, and it never comes to fruition. Look at the 8 years of Obama. Case in point. 8 years of Obama. Case in freaking point. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll have go up. I'll let some people up if they want to chop it up with your boy. Make it political. We want politician talk for now. Politicians. Only politicians. And I'm not one of them. I am not one of them. But I know a trick bag when I see it. I know some trick bags when I see them. I know some trick bags when I see them. It's not hard to spot a pimp. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. You want cluck for your buck? You want gas prices to lower? You want food prices to go down? You want hospitals to have better. You want better health care. Is what I was going to say. You want better health care. You want better opportunities for yourself when it comes to jobs and stuff like that. I suggest you form independent. In my opinion, maybe you don't like the idea of being independent. You like being underneath somebody. I don't like being underneath anymore. I've tried it for many, many years. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I voted for Barack Obama for those many years, and I wasn't as into it like I am now. I know the trick bag when I see it. So I'll wait for some people if they want to chop it up with your boy. All right. In meantime, in between time, let's hear what old Judge Joe Brown has to say about Kamala Harris.
And I want to backtrack to a comment you made earlier about the casting couch. So that's true? Like, because I always heard this rumor that she slept her way to the top. That's true?
She did. She's old. She's 60 years old. Look, if you want to find out about it, go online to the LA Times morgue. They used to have it so for a fee, we could get them to pull articles.
Stop. Why did he start off with that? Why? Why did he start off with this shit?
Look, if you want to find out about it.
That's true?
She did. She's
like, because I always heard this rumor that she slept her way to the top. That's true?
She did. She's old. She's 60 years old. Look, if you want to find out about it, go online to the LA Times morgue. They used to have it so for a fee, you could get them to pull articles. They've been reporting on her for 30-some years. She's in her 20s, and Willie Brown took her up as his mistress. There was a medical firm that dealt with San Francisco. He got her a 15-hour-a-week part-time job there, which she never showed up to, according to the Times, but they paid her $72,000 a year for 15 hours a week. And understand, she's in her 20s, which is 30-some years ago. That's big money now. So he got her promoted up, so she did 20 hours a week. Times reported she never showed up, but she got $120 grand a year So he bought her a 750i BMW, which was the top of the line at the time. So he set her up with all of the connections to get her into politics. The Times did a thing about this thing she had allegedly with an NBA player to get a job with a big law firm, and then a thing they did on her with the assistant director for the district attorney's office to get on with them, and then Montel Williams, and then back to Willie Brown, and then the rest of the whole thing. And she winds up with a Hollywood lawyer type not long before she runs for senator. So, and she adopts his children. She doesn't have any of her own, not saying it's a requirement, but it sure as hell helps, because I think the only two presidents of significance that didn't have children officially, George Washington and Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was a homicidal maniac. George Washington had enough by the slaves before he got sterile by disease. And the other three out of the five known ones, they weren't too good. They were has-been, never was type. So I say that
if you're looking to get a degree in IT or cybersecurity, UMGC is waiving their application fee through August.
I know what I thought when I was a young man. Such things didn't make differences, but then I'd never had to be a parent. You never had to get up sick and go to work when you didn't feel like it, because you had the bills to pay. You never had to be reliable when you had other things to do. And having this legacy that you have to pass on, and not wanting to do anything that shames your grandchildren, because they do in fact exist and it's not hypothetical, that gives you a different perspective. So it's not an absolute requirement, but I think you really don't know how to have the dedication to the job if you have nothing to survive you. No immediate cause. Not saying that somebody can't be a good president without, but it's just, what's your stake in it? Do you want to leave a better America for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren? Or is there nobody out there that you have an immediate selfish interest in?
Yeah, and she used to date Montel Williams, right?
Yeah, Willie Brown's too. She showed up here at a mayor's conference in Memphis some years ago. I spoke at the damn thing.
She dated Montel Williams, the talk show host. Wow.
She showed up here. She was with Willie Brown. She got mad at her sister, this black judge here, because she just went over to speak with him. She jumped up, don't even look at him, leave him alone. The judge told her, ain't my type.
I have no idea.
Don't worry about it. You know, I'm just trying to meet him. So, and I know, I mean, allegations, I wasn't there, but I've had at least two women that I've known who are married women, and they tell me essentially they almost slapped their husbands back when they were at Howard at a certain frat where somebody did a lot of second floor action, and they were angling on getting some, and it wasn't going to happen. You know, so you get this. Like I said, I'm not holding it against somebody because they did it for recreation, but, you know, when you do the casting couch thing, that's a bad move. I know some women in Hollywood that did the casting couch and those who refused. The ones who got refused went further than the ones who did. The ones who did ramped up real quickly, but then they're a piece of ass. Everybody knows it, so they get passed around. And then
I'm not saying this is all speculations or whatever. I mean, the judge knows who the judge knows. But I'm going to ask you a question real quick. Are you convinced that Kamala Harris is good for the country? Are you convinced? Are you convinced?
Do they have talent, or was it just they jump-started their careers and then the lack of talent shows? Or did you have talent and do it the hard way? See, I mean, I hate to say it, but now, the other thing is I don't see any case law she made as an attorney or running the district attorney's office in a large city. I don't see in private practice pro bono when she early years before she got into prosecuting that made a difference. I don't see any innovation in law that she's responsible for. I don't see any reform of criminal justice that she could have done a whole lot about. I don't see any of that. So what did she do?
She was.
I just see a long laundry list, page after page of wrong. So I'm not one of these people that is a fan of promoting somebody upstairs.
Yeah, that's real talk. And that's crazy, man, because I never heard that story before. So she tried to check a female because she thought she was trying to talk to her husband.
Yeah, I mean, and the woman was a judge she was talking to. I was there.
Who would be the talented? Who would be the talented people, Bridget? Who would be the talented people? Like minds would like to know. I never knew she dated Montel Williams. That's crazy. It comes to think, what else is going to come out of a court? This is going to be one nasty election. This is going to be one nasty ass election. Gan fucking T. No, I'm still waiting on that answer, Bridge.
Yeah, when that happened, it's like,
gobble, gobble.
Dude, damn, who is that? I didn't know who she was, you know, I mean, but.
Do you think she like black men?
No, I don't think she does. No, she doesn't. I mean, look at it. Most of these women that she locked up for the truancy problems were black women.
Ooh.
Damn near everybody she was getting these horribly stiff sentences to as recommendations. They were young black men. What wound up happening, all of these people she withheld information on that could have exculpated them so they wouldn't have been found guilty, they were black men. She was particularly harsh in the way black men got treated when they came through the system that she had prosecutorial preeminence in. You see, she set up no programs to come up with work alternatives. She set up no programs to deal with rehabilitation. She set up no programs to deal with counseling. She set up no programs to offer alternatives to criminality.
Okay. Trump donated to her when she was AG. I don't know what AG is in California. I had it on the tip of my tongue. I couldn't say it. But anyway, he wrote her a check for $6,000 to prosecute Steve Murchy. Murchy later sealed Trump's taxes from progress. Ugh. Sounds like one of them good problems, huh?
She just came down hard. And it's like, what did you get from her? You must have had a white client. Yeah, I did. Well, what do your black clients get? Not the same thing as the white ones. And you had enough black attorneys who had white clients to know the difference.
That was fucking good. That was fucking good. Trump shouldn't have what? Trump shouldn't come off as a misogynistic and degrading Kamala as a 304. Too late. But it's like I said, until we get that debate, Until he says, yeah, I don't see Donald Trump running from a fight. I don't see him running from a fight. But until that time comes, we shall see. Like and share, subscribe to the channel, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to make it a little bit short today because I got some things to do. So we're leaving at the 2-hour mark. But I thank everybody for coming by and checking on with your boy. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Who do you vote for? You vote for Kamala or do you vote for Trump? Either one is a loser, but who cares? We're all screwed, right? See ya. I would vote